Hello, and welcome to Africaonline Media Corporation's live broadcast. It is Sunday, the 9th of January, and the year is 2022. So, Happy New Year to all of you out there. We cannot stop saying it. The month will run out before we think that we've exhausted it. But you are welcome to the program. And today we'll be talking about something that concerns all of us. Time, punctuality. Are you always running late? Are you always doubting yourself whether you should go or not go, whether you'll be the first or the last? Well, punctuality is our topic today. And our great co-anchor, Ambassador Lisa, has a raspy voice and thinks that I should go ahead. And she is there, but she will not be talking much. If she can, she'll be able to say a word or two, but she is here with us. And we're saying Happy New Year again to all of us. And let's get the show started. And getting the show started is going straight with the editorial for today. So greetings and warm welcome to Africaonline Media Corporation. On this Sunday, January 9th, we believe it is not too late to still wish each and every one of us a very happy new year. Yes, it's hopefully going to be a happy new year. Why not? On this 9th day of the 2022 year, that is the calendar year, we are looking forward to the remaining 356 days in faith and in confidence. Going forward, more than 10, 20, 22 daily holidays, yes, holiday with a small d, fall on January 9. So we will spare you the trouble of mentioning all and just go with the following without any elaboration. On this day, January 9th, where am I? I got lost on my page here. On this day, this January 9, we are going to tell you just about a few of those holidays, the small d. So it's been today, January 9, but the baptism of the Lord, that is the baptism of Jesus Christ, which was set to come the Sunday after Epiphany, or the visit by those three wise men from the East. It is on this January 9th, the International Choreographers Day. Choreographers. Do you choreograph? Do you do some dancing and somebody has to tell you how to put your foot forward and put the other one backward, something like that? International Choreographers Day. It is also National Apricot Day. I don't know that fruit. I don't eat it. Maybe I've eaten it without knowing, but Apricot Day is today. And very importantly, it is National Law Enforcement Day. National law enforcement, especially in some parts of the world, like the United States, National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day actually is today, January 9th. But try as we could, we tried not to bring all the holidays to you, but then we cannot afford to not mention this one, National Take the Stairs Day. So Reverend Pam, Ambassador Lisa, brother, all of us here, please make sure you take the stairs today because it is National Take the Stairs Day. And living in this age of high rises, it is but normal that we have stairs in our houses, in our apartment buildings, in our office buildings, and so on and so forth, because you have to take the stairs. But then if you prefer to go by the elevator, remember that elevators can give you the scare of your life. Sometimes they get stuck, they stall and make you uncomfortable sitting in there, maybe for 30 minutes, maybe for 1 hour, waiting for it to be unblocked. So always rely on your traditional God-given means of transportation, that is your legs. Taking the stairs, you are telling yourself, may, however, slow you down and oblige you to go late for that invitation from your boss or for an interview, or maybe just to party. But whatever it is, going late or failing to be punctual at that event to which you were invited is not a very honorable thing. And that brings us to our topic, punctuality. What is punctuality? We may not be defining it, but punctuality, our topic today, experts are telling us is the characteristic of being able to complete a required task rather, or fulfill an obligation before or at a previously designated time. Punctual, that is the word from which punctuality comes, here is used synonymously with being on time. Are you always on time? If you're on time, then you are punctual. So in this case, they're using it as a personality trait, being the opposite being tardiness. If you are not early, you are late. If you are not on time, you are tardy. So please watch out and know what to do. Punctuality is therefore our topic today. To some, punctuality is not about being on time. Rather, it is basically about responding to your own commitments. It is about honoring and exhibiting a quality of yourself to show trust that you can be relied upon to say 1 o'clock is 1 o'clock, that is 100, not 101. Okay, that is why, and with everything on our minds, we thought that starting the year this way, we will be able to inspire each of us, all of us, to position ourselves in such a way as to be able to not go late for anything, to not be tardy for anything that we're invited to or that we planned to do. Because even at home, cooking dinner doesn't have to start at 5:30. If dinner is eaten at 6 o'clock, if you start at 5:30, certainly you'll not be able to finish cooking by 6 o'clock. So always try to be on time. Always try to be punctual. So do not cultivate a habit of arriving late, because when you do, you are letting those who are made to wait for you think that, well, you don't care about them. You are just being yourself. Maybe you are just trying to play the peacock. Well, we don't want to accuse anybody here. That is why it is said that punctuality is, quote, the politeness of kings and the duty of gentle people everywhere. Thinking in those lines, Edward G. Buller Lytton tells us, quote, punctuality is the stern virtue of business and the graceful courtesy of princes. Punctuality should, however, not be something, a characteristic only of kings and princes. It should be embraced rather by all of us, every one of us, paupers and kings and princes alike. Virginia Woolf emphasizes that when we tell, or rather she tells us that, but time, unfortunately, though it makes animals and vegetables bloom and fade with amazing punctuality, has no such simple effect upon the mind of man. Because we never care to ask ourselves, why do the flowers bloom when they do and fade when they do? They are being punctual according to how nature has made them, according to how nature has set them. And William Shakespeare, you know, the British author, rubs it all in when he says, it is better to be 3 hours too soon than to be a minute late. So better be early than be late. To be punctual to an event thus becomes a moral obligation. To be punctual or to be early thus has to do with our state of mind. We must take it away with ourselves, always considering it before we go to bed, rising on time, going to that event on time, and making it an obligation to respect time, because in so doing, we are honoring our duty to those who may have to wait on us. That brings, and that being said, rather not brings out, but that being said, I must turn over the microphone to the chair of Africaonline Media Corporation, Reverend Palm, because I want to be sure that this program stays on time, that we are punctual, and that we do the right thing at the right time. Over to you, Reverend Palm.
Thank you so much, Nia Song. And yes, we are always punctual. We've been punctual for 6.5 years. We're actually, yeah, you know, is it 6.5 years? We actually, yes.
Yes.
Yes, we've been punctual for 6 years. You know,
6
March
years.
is our anniversary, and we're always punctual on this show. And punctuality is my middle name. So, on behalf of Africaonline
I
Media
like that.
Corporation, I would like to welcome all our viewers around the globe and our brothers and sisters here. Brother Ronald, thank you for always keeping me as some company, so he's not usually the only guy anymore. Our sister Ruth Presley, you are so amazing. We got a notification of your generous donation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The accountant, has noted it. 100% of it is in the borehole account, not one penny. The only deduction came from Squarespace. I think they have a fee, a transaction fee. That's the only deduction on your donation. We also got a donation from Sister Deborah, who also pledged on that day. I think the donations came on December the 27th. We apologize that we're just not acknowledging it. As you know, we don't have a lot of help. So, but thank you so much. Ambassador Lisa, even without your voice, you are still on this show. Thank you so much, my dear sister. By the end of this show, your voice should be completely restored. Yeah, your voice cannot be down because we need you to talk. You're an ambassador, you have to speak. That's how you reach out to people. See, she's responding with an emoji of love. Thank you so much, Ambassador Lisa. You're so awesome. Punctuality is such an issue with our people, with human beings in particular, but with our people, both in the diaspora and here. Just a couple of days ago, I was helping somebody, plan their event, and they were telling me, oh, we need to put on the save the date that the event starts at 6. I said, no. I said, that's a lie. The event is starting at 7, and we're going to put 7 on the save the date. And this person was like, oh, but there are people, we want people to come on time. I said, my dear, I said, when we keep enabling these bad behaviors, it will continue. I say we punish people that come on time and reward people that come late. We're going to put the exact time when the event is starting, and the invited guests will get a program that says at 7 o'clock this thing starts. I don't believe in all that nonsense. I remember going for a graduation, and these people put on the invitation at a time that was 2 hours early. I got there on time, and I was really furious because I was not going to wait for 2 hours. The only reason why I stayed was because this particular person needed encouragement. It was a young man that needed encouragement, and for some reason, this particular person listens to me more than he listens to anybody else. So I did not leave because I wanted to be an encouragement to this person. That's why I stayed. Otherwise, I would have left because I don't condone that kind of behavior. Don't tell people your event is at 5 o'clock when your event is at 6 o'clock. Because let me tell you, that game, everybody knows that game. People know that when you put that time, you are trying to accommodate latecomers, and that should not be the normal thing. It's not right. For one thing, you are lying, for starters. And the other thing, there are people like me that will show up on time. So I don't understand. Even airport, I see people last minute. I would never develop high blood pressure. My blood pressure doesn't even hit 120. It's usually between 110 and 120. It doesn't go up. When I'm traveling, I get to the airport 2 hours before my flight because I don't want to be rushing. I don't want to be rushing. I don't want to be speeding. I go to meetings on time. If I'm ever late for a meeting, it was because of circumstances beyond my control. But the reason why I leave early is if there's a traffic, and thanks to driving apps like Waze, it tells you where there's an accident and it bypasses that. So please, this is a new year. Resolve to be on time. Punctuality, not just with time, but paying your bills, responding to text messages, responding to emails, responding to things. Try to be on time with everything you do. So I am going to hand over to Niasong to give our panelists an option. But real quick, Sister Deborah, before you came, I acknowledge you and your donation. Thank you so much, my dear sister. for your donation. 100% of it is going to the borehole. Squarespace took some a transaction fee out of your donation. That's the only thing that came out of it, but 100% of it is going to the borehole. Thank you for honoring your word. We really, really appreciate you. Niasom.
Thank you very much, and welcome on board, everyone. And let's get this show started. Brother Donald, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to find out from you what it means to you to be punctual, what punctuality means to you, and if you've come across inconveniences because of that word, and maybe how it's being used in our different communities. Brother Donald.
Yes, I believe that punctuality has helped me a lot in my life, simply because I remember the saying, the early bird gets the worm. And so by being early and on time, I've been able to accomplish a lot as far as like job interviews, having a good attendance record in school, and also on the job. But I think a lot of people have been influenced by Hollywood and movies about being, quote, fashionably late, unquote. So they can be seen as the last one coming in and the first person to leave. But other than that, punctuality is very important in the business world because that's how they get things done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sister Ruth. I know many women are always respecting time, although in some homes, the husbands are always quarreling with their wives or taking hours to get ready to go for that event and keep reminding them, we're running late. So Sister Ruth, how has it been with you, punctuality?
Punctuality is very important to me. I think it truly is a sign of respect or disrespect. And in this household, I'm usually ready before my husband is.
That's a first. That's not common. Usually it's the other way around.
Yes.
And I think it's because I come from such a, as you guys know, I come from such a large family. We didn't have a lot of time. Like, get in there, do what you got to do, get out, get dressed, and let's go. But I find it upsetting, and I agree so much with Reverend Pam when we penalize the people that get there on time or a little bit early, saying, well, we're going to wait a few minutes for the late people. And there's no, it's like, well, why am I on time if you're going to wait for the late people to show up? And when you start on time, those that are usually tardy are like, oh my gosh, they started on time. Yeah. Because it's an honoring thing. It really is a God honoring thing. Yeah. And yeah, things do happen every once in a while, but if being late is your MO, you need to check your motives. Why are you late all the time?
Exactly.
What are you doing? So I just believe that it's a sign of respect to be on time, or as it was said earlier, to be on time is to be late, to be early is to be on time. Even if it's a few minutes early.
Yes. Sister Deborah, it is your turn now to tell us about you and punctuality and using time in general.
Well, I'm generally early for everything because I really hate being late. Being on time is very important to me for everything, a job, going to church, meetings, whatever. I need to be there early. If only just to get myself composed, to be able to handle whatever the situation is. But early is the best thing for me. And I've been like that all my life.
Good.
Awesome.
That's great. Well, personally, I grew up in the village back in the English-speaking part of Cameroon. And we used to go to school. The school was like 5 miles away from the house. So if you don't get up early, you go late. And when you go late, the teacher punishes you. So I always wanted to avoid that, to avoid punishment. So I always got up early, and if I shout and the other kid who is supposed to walk with me doesn't come out, I go, I leave them behind. And I did that many times and they blamed me, but it was positive for me. And I grew up learning that to be on time is a very good thing to do, because eventually my first job in life, I was a journalist, and journalism meant being on time because I was a newscaster. I had to be at the station at least 30 minutes before time to get ready for the broadcast. So time has become part of me. And even today, when they say a meeting is at 9 o'clock, I'm at the office at 8:30 to get ready to be prepared to participate in the meeting. So being on time, being punctual for every and anything is part of me these days. And I tell my kids, whatever you do, remember that you have to be early for whatever you are doing. I get up my grandson, he has class at 8 o'clock, but I get him up at 7 o'clock. I say, young man, you have to prepare, because if you go late, you'll miss the most important thing that the teacher says in the morning. So go early so that you are able to hear what the teacher has to say as a greeting to you, as a welcome.
Is it me, or is Nia Song's thing frozen?
He's frozen to me.
Okay, since it's frozen, I would like to hear let's hear from Brother Ronald about his experience with punctuality.
Yes, my experience with punctuality, I've always been commended as being a reliable person for being on time. The only time I was ever late was because parties that I used to go to when I was younger tended to last all day. But now, if I'm going to a party, it's usually a business party, I'm punctual and on time. So that's how I am with my time as far as being punctual.
Thank you. We lost the main anchor, and the co-anchor, you know, her voice is praising Jesus, but this show must go on. You know, I know Nia Song is going to zoom back in. I want to ask a question, and Sister Ruth can go first, Sister Deborah, and then Brother Ronald. You know, there are people that go to work on time. When it comes to church, they come late. And not only do they come late, when they come, even when the pastor is preaching, they don't want to sit at the back or at the edge. They feel like they own a plot in the church, you know, and then they disturb people just to go and sit in their favorite spot. I want you guys to weigh in on that. Dr. Ogoji, you are welcome. I can't wait to hear from you. I mean, you are a family practice doctor and an OBGYN doctor, and you cannot go late, because those babies, when it's time for them to come, they don't wait. They just come. And the water doesn't wait for you to come before it broke. So after Brother Ronald, we want to hear from you, Dr. Ogoji. Happy New Year again. So Sister Ruth, Sister Deborah, Brother Ronald, you weigh in on that. And then after you, we'll hear from Dr. Ogoji about punctuality.
When it comes to,
oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want
No, I want Sister Ruth to go first to that question, Sister Deborah, Brother Ronald. Then after that, Dr. Ogoji will give us his take on punctuality.
Yeah. What was funny to me about the church and people being late, people are still late even on Zoom. They are still coming to church at 11:30. Church starts at 11. They're still showing up after 11 o'clock.
So it's not traffic. They can't blame it on traffic.
They cannot. It's a choice and a lifestyle. And I'm not saying that I haven't been late because I lost track of time, you know, thinking it was 10:30 and I had more time, and then I look up and it's 11:05 or something. But there's people that is just a part of their makeup. Late is just what they do, no matter if it's on Zoom or if it's the physical church. And I can't judge it because it's not part of my personality, but it's the house of God. God's there. We need to be there because he's there. I don't have to wait for praise, and whatever your reason is for not getting there at the time it starts, does that supersede coming together to be with your family, to be with God? When God is always on time, he's never late,
Never late.
he's always there for us.
Mhm.
I think sometimes we treat church like it's a club or
A fast food restaurant, you drive by when you need to order a hamburger or something.
yeah, you drive by and then
Collect
like,
your blessings and leave.
yeah, but it's a God honoring factor to be on time or to be early for church.
Awesome. Sister Deborah.
I agree with Sister Ruth. People take church really lightly and they come in late. They want to sit in their favorite seat. If somebody's in that seat, then they're going to get upset and want to get mad about things. And I don't understand it because I go to church to hear what the Lord has to say, to get a word from the Lord, to worship and praise him. I don't know what other people are coming for anymore because it really doesn't make sense. You want to sit in your favorite seat, get there early.
Yes.
My opinion. And I mean, it's just fact. People take God lightly. Somebody just put in the chat, how would we like if God was late for what we asked for? We get upset.
Of course.
He's never on. No, he's on time. You're late.
You know, you're so right. Ambassador Lisa is actively participating. I'm going to share what she's saying. Let me be her voice, even though I don't sound as sexy as she does. You know, she said, on the continent, being on time is difficult because public transportation doesn't run on a schedule. It runs when the bus or car is full. Ambassador Lisa is laughing with tears in her eyes. And then she says she's absolutely the opposite. She arrives church late, but she's always late for work. Did they ever fire you because you were of your chronic tardiness at work, Ambassador Lisa? And then she said, "Oh my God, what if God decided to be late with our daily bread? Only God knows." So, and yeah, so why you were kicked off, your computer. I posed a question about this punctuality, that there are people that go to work on time, but when it comes to church, they come late. So Brother Rona is going to weigh in on that. And then Dr. Ogoji is going to talk to us about his experience with punctuality and his take on it. So Brother Rona.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry I was kicked off the network, but I just was able to get back. Thanks.
No problem.
Okay. Some people at my church will come late and will have a favorite spot they like to sit in. And so I might be blocking them. A lot of them like to sit on the end. So they want you to move down, or either they climb across you just to get to their favorite seat. Mm-hmm. And then the pastor noticed that we have collection around, like church started at 11 o'clock and we have collection at 11:30. Some people will want to wait until after 11:30 to come in so that they don't have to put anything in the collection.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Some people would do that. But
that is pathetic.
Huh?
I said that is pathetic.
Yeah, some people, all in all, lately, well, before the pandemic, things was getting kind of better, but people still kind of come in.
I have a comment for those people who are waiting till after the offering to come to church. I don't know if you think you are deceiving God. He's omnipresent, he's omniscient, and he's omnipotent. You don't give the money to God, the devil will take it in either a flat tire, a traffic ticket, or a health problem. I'm telling you, I can guarantee you, go ahead and calculate all what you have spent on those things. It probably come the amount to your tithes. So you either give it to God or the devil will steal it from you. That's what John 10:10 says. All right, Dr. Ogoji, after Dr. Ogoji, I'll hand back over to the main anchor. Oh, by the way, Ambassador Lisa says she was never fired for coming late. Thank God you were not working.
She's lucky. She's lucky.
Thank God you were not working for me, because you would have been fired after a few episodes of that. You know, Dr. Ogoji, let's hear your, and please turn on your camera, you know, hat or no hat. Yes, let's hear your take on punctuality.
Well, punctuality is a habit. If people learn to come to work on time because they want to be on work on time. Also depends on how important you place that activity on. If church is important to you, you get to church on time. If work is important to you, you get to work on time. Because I understand that people say African time, that African people go late to everything but when you come to work, they get on time so they can get a double shift. So it is double shift, they'll go there, they'll work and take a second shift. When you come to church or any other thing they want to do, if it's less important to them, they will go when they feel like going. So that's one thing about punctuality. Another thing there is, even when you try to be punctual, some people want to go to a place where they will be noticed when they get into that place.
Bingo, touchdown. That's the time you just scored a goal in the African Nations Cup right here on this show.
Yeah. So there'll be a party or a meeting somewhere. People will come and drive past. Is there anybody there to keep going? The only one to come when the place is filled up with people, the people will notice it when they walk in.
Low self-esteem.
Good. My question is, are you coming there for the function or to show off whatever you want to show off? I don't know. Of course, people also, I mean, it all depends on the society. People want to come to a place, when they walk in, everybody stand up to welcome them.
Blood of Jesus.
Those people would not come to that place if it's not filled up with people. So to be punctual is a habit. And it's a habit that you learn to either be punctual or to be late all the time. Occasionally, somebody can be late for obvious reasons, but if you go to church 20 minutes late every time, something is wrong.
Yes.
Ask yourself, is this important to you? If it's important to you, you try to get it on time. And the sad thing is, you go late to church, and I go to Catholic church. There's certain time in church that every place should be quiet for everybody. You come at that time, you should stay outside and wait till maybe when they're trying to do offertory or when they're trying to do, when it's a bit more rowdy to get it. You don't come when the priest is trying to bless the Holy Communion and you walk all the way with quack, 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 quack to the front.
Distractions.
So for me, that church, you're not coming to that church to pray to God. You're coming there to show off something. Only God knows only you know what you want to show off. So that's my take. People treat what is important to them and with care, with love, and try to be punctual to be there as of when they're supposed to be there. If it's less important,
you know, I mean, every topic we have on this show, you come from, I mean, both a comedic angle and an intellectual angle. Thank you so much. But I have a quick question for you before Niason take over. As an OBGYN, have you ever been late for a delivery? Have you ever gotten to a point where a baby did not want to wait for you? The baby came out before you got to the delivery room?
So many times. No, some of these super mom who come to labor and delivery at 10 cm dilated and say, Dr. God, you come to delivery. I'll be running if I get the babies out.
That's not your fault. You did not go late. That was a super mom trying to be super.
Yeah. So I've actually delivered a baby at the parking lot. You know, she was rushing to the hospital. By the time she got to the parking lot, she couldn't wait anymore. They have to run down there to catch the baby in the parking lot. That's happened, you know. But I've never been intentionally late for a delivery.
Good.
If I have a patient in labor, you know, if she's a first-time mother, I say call me when she's 10 centimeters. If she's a second-time mother, I say when she's 7, I start going there because I know those one can move from 7 to delivery within 1 minute. You know, so I try to time it. Occasionally, my judgment will be wrong. A first-time mom will come there, and then before you blink your eye, the baby is out. What do you do?
Well, you're such a faithful doctor, and we appreciate you. You know, so Niason, before you take over, let me just read what Ambassador Lisa put on the chat box. is that
Yeah.
I like to give very nice gifts for the first to arrive. People will start coming on time because they want to get the gift. At our power lunch and tea party, we give beautiful gifts for the first to third to arrive. And the first to RSVP, it teaches young people the importance of being on time. Yeah, but that's some kind of bribery. I know you are rewarding them, but they should still go on time, whether there's a reward or not. And yeah, so I need to mute for a second.
Yeah, Dr. Ogoji, welcome to the show as always. I was going to take the flip side of what Reverend Pam asked you. Now, patients come when they come. Have you ever had a patient who perpetually comes late for your appointments? I know Dr. Ogoji is muted. Oh no, he's here. Dr. Ogoji, have you ever had patients who perpetually come late for your appointments?
Yes, I do have a lot of those patients, okay? I work in a community health center. So we see everybody irrespective of ability to pay. So for us to fire you from your platform, for us to fire you from our practice, you must have done something terrible. And we don't even charge a no-show fee. That means if you no show, we charge you money. We don't do that in my practice.
Okay.
Other private practices charge you a no-show fee.
Yes.
So my patients are spoiled, you know. They come when they want to come, and occasionally, I mean, we the doctors always run late. Not that we're not running late. Going to the clinic, we are there. You know, each patient is 15 minutes slot. Always, something will just happen that you spend 30 minutes with a patient. That could be 15 minutes behind. The irony is that most of these latecomers of my patients, when I don't get there on time, they freak out. My appointment was 3 o'clock. You come in 3:45. What's wrong with you?
Yes, that's
And
right.
I tell them,
Right.
patience has to be always be patient. Patience should be patient. If not, you should not be a patient.
That's right. Playing on that word. Yeah, Dr. Ogoji, we are on this side of the continent or of the globe, but it doesn't happen the same on the other side where you and I come from. You know that better. So what will you tell your folks, especially when you go home, when they come to visit you, when you have a party or maybe you have something for them and they come 2 hours late, 3 hours late, or maybe they never show at all? What do you tell them?
Well, honestly speaking, when I have a function in my house, okay, I tell them this party starts 5 p.m. And where I do my things, they know me now. Once it's 5:30, I bring out the goodies. By 6:37, I'm closing the party.
Good.
Party is over. Then few friends who come late, if you have to be my real personal friend to come to my house, I can't have party from 5 to 10. No. I want by 7, I'm done with the party.
Yes.
So when I have an invitation, I say from 5 to 7. And I'll stay there, DJ closes music by 7:30. So it's up to you to come or not to come. And what I generally do, most of my parties when I do back home, I like to I have a lot of children. I have 2 kids, I have kids in school that I always include in my party every time. Those will show in time. So if you want crowd, by the time you show by 5 o'clock, all the kids are already there. And then I do my stuff, and then once it's 7:38, party is over. You come to my gate, the gate man will tell you that the party is over, my dear, go back.
That's something. But the opposite.
Okay, Nia Song, I hope he did not travel to Africa. Did his thing just freeze again, or is it just me? Is he frozen?
Yeah. He's frozen again.
Okay. I don't know what part of the US you are in. I know you work in Montgomery County, but you must have traveled, to Africa because you are having a lot of connectivity issues. But Ronald, do you? Have you experienced, challenges with punctuality at work or at events in your area, in your environment? And how do you react to them?
You talking about me being late or someone being late to an event for me?
Either way, either way.
Well, usually when I want to meet up with somebody for just activity, having a good time, and they're late, I always give them like if I'm supposed to meet someone at 6 o'clock, I'll give them until 6:30 to get there. If they're not there, then I'll leave. So that had happened with me a couple of times, but usually the person would let me know saying that I'm sorry I didn't show up. I said, that's okay. I had already left because I stopped waiting for you. But other than that, most people are on time.
Okay, good for you. You keep good company. Sister Ruth, you know, we still have a show that we're going to do on your family and all the families that have more than 10 kids by one woman. Dr. Ogoji, you're an OBGYN. Our sister here, the mother gave birth to 19 children. Sister Ruth, were there any multiple births or she gave birth 19 times?
She gave birth 19 times in 25 years.
Dr. Ogoji, did you hear that?
Yes, I heard that. That's amazing. She's a super mom.
Exactly.
She was a super mom.
We are going to do a show on them. Ambassador Lisa is going to be producing that show. We're gonna you're gonna have your siblings here, and we want another family that has more than 10. But Sister Ruth, I don't know how your mom was able to prepare you guys for school to get to school on time. Growing up, you want to share experiences, challenges with punctuality because there were so many of you.
It was amazing because I'm one of, as you 19, I'm number 14. So
You're
by
number
the time
14.
I'm number 14, so there's 5 younger than me. And by the time I got there, my mother had it down to a science. And that's why I was saying in the bathroom, you had, 5 to 10 minutes to do everything you needed to do so the next person could get in there. My father also was a pastor, and we were all in church by 11 o'clock.
Wow.
Sitting row by row in church. So being late just isn't a part of our makeup. I mean, there are some that are late. It's just, but my mother just had a way of getting things done and keeping us organized and everything, everything laid out the night before and breakfast ready and all those things were done and in order so that we wouldn't be late.
What about dinner? I mean, what about mealtime? It's not easy to set up for a family of 21 because that's your mom, your dad, and 19 children. And the good thing is that you came out number 14. Usually when somebody's number 14, they're the last child. But you were not the last child. And I'm sure by the time you came out, the oldest ones were grown to help your mom. But tell us about dinner. I mean, how was she able to get all of you guys to eat on time? That's a lot of people, a lot of mouth to feed.
It was a lot of mouth to feed. And also some of my older siblings were already gone. They were already married and they had their own children as well.
Okay.
I can't explain it. We just knew that dinner was going to be cooked and ready. And when I got married, I was still cooking for about 20 people because that was the model that I grew up under. I didn't know how to cook for 1 or 2. And
oh my God.
And she had a system that everybody had a job to do and you did your job and you stayed in order and everything just ran smoothly. I'm not saying you were
labor and the Jethro formula. Your mother implemented the Jethro formula and division of labor.
Yes, she did.
Christian Jethro was Moses's father-in-law, and they still use the Jethro formula. You can Google it. The Jethro formula. They still use that for administration to today. You assign different people to do different things. And division of labor is an economic principle. So okay, Nia Song, let me hand back over to you. We have somebody that keeps coming in on iPhone and they're having a problem staying. I think they've logged in twice, and I hope
No, Reverend Palm, that's me, because when the iPad goes off, I go to my personal phone and try to also hook up, and my personal phone hooks up faster than the iPad. So that's the problem.
All right, no
Yeah.
problem. Go
So
ahead.
that's me.
Over
that's
to
me.
you.
Yes, I heard about the part of the 19 children. I know Sister Ruth, am I right? I know we are planning a program for that. It will come eventually in 2022. We will need 2 extra people to make 22, so that 3 other people. So we have, Dad and Mom, are they still there? Maybe they will join us on that program, because we need as many people as there are children. And then, of course, we will continue the discussion from there. But talking about time and respecting time and doing what we ought to do, we're talking about the African experience. I know Ambassador Lisa is not able to speak because she's been to Africa many times and she knows the comportment of people out there when it concerns time. Brother Donald, I know you spoke about it before. How is your experience out here in the United States? Do you have people from your part of the world who come late for meetings or for events when they're supposed to start at 5 o'clock? They come in at 4:30, I mean at 5:30 or 6 o'clock?
Yeah, it's usually on social events when they will come late. Because in the United States, like I have said before, Hollywood and the movies had got people to thinking about, let's be, quote, fashionably late, unquote, in order to make a grand entrance and have all eyes on them. So sometimes, well, most of the time with my social events, I may schedule a time for to meet a person or I'm gonna come visit me, but then they would come like an hour late, 2 hours late. And then sometimes what I would do, I would give them 30 minutes. If they don't get there within 30 minutes, then I'm gone. But that's been my experience with social events.
Yes. Sister Deborah, how's your experience been with communing with friends and relatives around your area? Do they come on time? Do they always take their time and come when everybody else is settled down and they start squeezing themselves through?
My people tend to come late. I don't know why, but they like to get there after the fact, so they don't have to do any extra stuff. But like I said, I'm just one that I've never liked being late. And if I am late, there's a very good reason for it. I'm usually there ahead of time, so I'd be sitting waiting for everybody to get there.
Now, Reverend Palm, you live in the South. You have a tripod in front of you: work, Cameroonian community, church. How have each of these groups responded insofar as time is concerned?
Well, I would say not just Cameroonian community. My outreach goes beyond Cameroonian community. As a matter of fact, most of the charity I've done more work in Nigeria than Cameroon. So just say community.
Yes.
The good thing is that those people, they know me. They know I start things on time. Even when it came to work, before I went virtual in 2017 with my work, all my employees, they knew. Because me, I don't mince words, they knew that, tardiness was not an option. And that was just because of the way I was raised. My parents were always on time. So when I do events, people know my events start on time, even if it's just a prayer line. We start on time. I don't care if it's just 2 people there, we start on time. We don't wait. So people know, because this is not something I just acquired. I've been that way from when I was growing up. So they always, when I do events, people know to come on time. When we did the inaugural, the Africa's Brain Bank inaugural summit, so you opened that event, there was one of the people that was supposed to be on the red carpet. We had 3 different people on the red carpet, journalists or people on the camera. One of them came an hour late. And by the time they came, the red carpet was over because the red carpet was 1 hour. And they were so embarrassed. They said, and this was somebody who was not, because that was in Maryland. This particular person was not familiar with my MO. we start things on time. Niasong, you started the event on time. You know, so we start things on time. I don't, to me, I don't understand. If you know that you have to be somewhere, what's the point dragging? You have to be there anyway, so why go late? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. You are trying to catch a flight, why miss your flight? You know you have to travel, pack ahead of time. I'm not a light traveler, I'm a heavy traveler. And when I'm packing, I mean, this may sound crazy, but I write down all the things I'm going to take, you know, and I pack them, you know, at least 3 days in advance, so that I don't miss something. Because one thing I don't like is trying to look for something to wear and I forgot something. That I don't want to deal with all that. I don't want to go through that kind of grief. So if you know you're going to travel, there's no point waiting to the last minute to either call an Uber or start getting your car. What if there's an accident on the way? So I just, to me, it's a self-inflicted wound. And to me, it's not worth it. If you inflict that wound on yourself, you should nurse it. Nobody else should nurse that wound for you. So.
Yes, that being said, and you might have discussed this because I keep going in and out. Now, since 2020, we've been on virtual. With most of our things happen virtually. So, but people still come late. Punctuality is still an issue. So yes. What should we do to educate our people to know that time is money?
Sister Ruth mentioned that when she was responding about the church, that even with the virtual church, people come late. So we cannot blame it on traffic. I think it's a bad habit, and bad habits are difficult to break, but there is hope. They can break it. This is the beginning of the year. People can add that to their top priorities or resolution for this 2022. With the Zoom, I would say set an alarm. Like even this show, we've been doing it for 6 years now. I set my alarm, a reminder, 2 hours and 1 hour in advance. If I have an appointment, I put all my appointments on my phone. I depending on what it is, if it's something that requires much time or work, I will set a reminder or an alert 1 week ahead of time. 2 days ahead of time, it depends. So I will advise people to set alerts on their phones, you know, not paper calendar, on your phone. I don't think there's any phone these days. We are in industry 4.0 that doesn't have the capability of calendars. I doubt it. If anybody makes a phone without that capability, I don't think they'll have any customers. So set a reminder on your calendar. And one of the things that really gets on my nerves, and I consider it lack of customer service. You know, I won't talk much about customer service, but if somebody gives me an appointment and I show up and they're not there, I'm not talking about, let's say they had a flat tire on their way there. The other day, I went for a physical meeting because it needed to be physical. Before I left, I made sure I called the person to remind the person about our 11 o'clock meeting, and that person said yes, they will be there. I got there, they were not there. Of course, I got there early and I waited. When I got there, I alerted them that I was there, just in case they were distracted so they can start coming. I waited, and at 11 o'clock, they were not there. I called them, they didn't pick up. At 11:15, I called them. Oh, I'm on my way. They got there 30 minutes late. And of course, you know, I called them out because my time is very important. I don't want to be waiting for you. Don't give me an appointment if you cannot keep it. This is general. When I give people appointments, I keep those appointments. So, and to me, it's a sign of disrespect. Some people may not know this. Don't give people an appointment if you cannot keep it. And then the other thing too is sometimes our people, they double book. They'll give you an appointment and then they give somebody else an appointment at the same time. Or there are vendors that will double book people, or they'll give a more than one person appointment at the same time. Or you have an event and they say, I'll be there. And then they realize that they cannot be there because they also give somebody else an appointment. Please, let's use simple technology. It's free, it's out there. You have a phone, these things are there. Put those things on your phone so that you don't grieve people and you don't stress people. We have 6 minutes to the top of the hour, so I'll hand back over to you before we go to the top of the hour.
Yes, for the rest of us on the panel, let's talk school, academics, going to school, especially for our young children. Many children come to school late. sometimes even with the parent bringing the child, and you begin to wonder, how are you teaching this child to be early if at the level of elementary, where I spend most of my time every day, children come late to school. Classes begin at 9:05, but children are still struggling to get in at 9:15, 9:30, and there is no excuse. Parents bring them. What should we do to our parents to mobilize them, to create that awareness in them, to know that time is precious, and time is very, very valuable? Anybody can go, please.
I think that because it's the way it is on this side of the world, it's commonplace to be late. So people don't realize the value of time, because we just say, oh, well, we'll just wait for them to show up, or there's no consequences for being late. And when there's no consequence for being late, for example, I was working with the dance ministry, and we did Bible study first, and then we did choreography. So a lot of the children were missing the Bible study, but they would get there on time for the choreography. So we switched it to choreography first and then Bible study. And amazingly, those same children who couldn't get there for Bible study could get there on time for choreography because they wanted to dance.
Misplaced priorities.
Misplaced priorities. And then the parents, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, because I think Nia Song said something about choreography today. What did you say in your edition?
Yeah, it's choreography day today.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I closed the book, so let me open it and see. But I know it's choreography day.
Choreography day. And
February 9th.
Then the children started bugging their parents because their parents are driving them. We got to get there. We got to get there. Why wasn't the word of God that important to you?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how we. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Do you guys see the chat box? Ambassador said, I promised to send a doctor a bill for keeping me waiting for more than 30 minutes. He had a big sign advertising that he would charge you for being late 15 minutes. Ambassador Lisa, I hope you send him that bill. Go ahead, Sister Ruth, sorry. Sister Ruth, you're muted.
I think it's just a matter of teaching people the value of time and what they're missing. And if we stop waiting and say, well, we're going to give people a few more minutes, and we begin to start and we continue to start on time, because I started on time. No matter what, we're going to start because we're here. Even if we just start with the prayer and we're praying, we're doing something, but we're not waiting. I never say, well, we're going to give everybody a few more minutes, because to me, that's highly for me, it's highly disrespectful.
Exactly.
To me.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna stop talking.
Yeah.
Don't stop talking. If you have the ideas,
don't stop. This is a talk show, but we have a couple of minutes. I went to a memorial service late out of state because the person that I was riding with caused it. I was not very happy. And she kept telling me, oh, you'll be the first person there. I said, I don't care, And by the time we got there, we were not the first people there. I told this person, I said, to me, I felt really bad because I should have just taken an Uber. You see what I'm saying? This person was a relative of mine and was supposed to go to this funeral. I was not happy at all because that's just not me, and a funeral is not a place you want to go late to, just like a church. It's very disrespectful. So Sister, don't stop talking, because even if it's just one person that make up their mind to start being punctual from this show, we have accomplished our mission. I can tell you we're making a difference. We just don't have the manpower and the resources to track the differences or to track the testimonies. But what you are saying here is not, it's very invaluable. So we are at the top of the hour. So let me share. Let me play the anthem so Ambassador Lisa's voice can come on. Let me see. Oh, Ambassador Lisa said the doctor took her immediately. Parents don't have to set bedtimes for their children anymore. This week, I watched my godchildren let their children run around till after 1 a.m. Then the children were more than an hour late for school. That's a shame. That's another thing. We need some people that can weigh in on that. Okay, let me play the anthem. Let me play the anthem here. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
There we go. It's good enough. Oh. Uh-oh. Scratchy.
Oh no, Africans for Africa, Africans.
It's breaking up.
Africans for Africa, Africans for Africa.
Good weather.
Africans for Africa, Africans for Africa, Africans have many bright ideas. If only
I'm sorry. I think it has to do with the weather in Houston.
Okay.
Should I stop sharing? Should I stop?
Yeah, because it's not,
It's buffering.
yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop sharing, you know, because let me see here. I'm gonna stop. Yeah, we had some serious thunderstorms yesterday in Houston, and a problem. So let me stop sharing. Niason, go ahead while I'm even trying to stop. It's acting up. Niason, can you go ahead? I'll come back in a minute when I stop this thing and announce the next topic. Go ahead, Niason.
Okay, this is Africaonline Media Corporation. Our live broadcast, the topic is punctuality. Punctuality, yes, and just a quick look back. I think one of our panelists was talking about choreography. Yes, it is International Choreography Day today, January 9th. So maybe you tell your group that we have an International Choreography Day, so the kids can honor that day on January 9th if they happen to be at that doctrine class. Okay, that said, Brother Donald, we still on the punctuality issue while waiting for Reverend Pam to come back to announce the topic for next week. What would you tell if you happen to be back in your original home? What would you tell the people there about the importance of time, the need to be punctual for events? Even here, what will you tell your friends who come late for your events?
Yes, I would tell them that it's very important that they be on time because time waits for no one. It's based on what we're doing at that time and how it's based on God's time. In other words, God wants us to be on time and do things on time so that we can live happily and socialize with each other in a respectful manner. It's like in the scripture say, do everything in decency and order. And so I would tell them to be punctual, help me to be on time so I hope you can be on time and we will all benefit.
Thank you for that. One of the people I quoted in the editorial earlier in the program is called Edward G. Bulwer Lytton, who says, punctuality is the stern virtue of business and the graceful courtesy of princes. So there's also another quote about kings, punctuality being something for kings. But should we only look up to the high ups to be punctual? Should only kings and princes be the ones to be punctual? Why not all of us? Why not everyone else? Sister Deborah?
I
Should
believe
we
it's
only look up?
important
Should
for,
we only wait for kings and princes and presidents to be on time where we are not?
no, I don't think we should. I believe we all should be on time because we all have to have accountability and responsibility for ourselves. And without being punctual, it shows something about your integrity as well, because then they can't trust you. If you say, I'm going to be here such and such a time, and then you're always late, your word goes for nothing.
Sister Ruth?
I absolutely agree with my friend Deborah Wilburn. It's about integrity. Being on time deals with your integrity. And as people of integrity, you show up, you find a way, you make provision, you prepare so if something does come up, you're not late. So you have everything. My mama was, systems in place. Have everything ready the night before. So when you got up in the morning, you could have everything prepared and ready to walk out the door. You weren't looking for your school bag or your lunch bag or any of that stuff. That stuff was by the door, ready to go. One of the siblings, all of us had to cook. One of the siblings was making the big pan of oatmeal for us to eat before we walked out the door. So we had a system, and just get a system together. That would be my recommendation. Get yourself a system.
Yes.
And decide that you want to respect yourself and respect God and respect those around you by being early rather than being late.
Awesome. Yeah, so I apologize.
No, okay, it's not your fault.
No, we had some serious weather here yesterday. I mean, it's not raining right now, but I don't know. But anyway, the topic for next week is employment and unemployment. And Madam Ambassador, you see why your voice cannot be under the weather, we need you here. So I just want to thank our brothers and sisters for weighing in and filling in when needed. It's funny because Ambassador Lisa is not able to speak well. Nia Song, connectivity issue. I had no idea I was going to have my thing was going to freeze. So my apologies to our viewers and everybody. So next we're going to be talking about employment and unemployment. And if there's anybody out there who works with HR or talent acquisition, or anybody that wants to, anybody that hires people or want to tell people where to apply for employment, please come on next Sunday and let's help some people find some jobs, okay? And I know that the jobs in the tech industries have, exploded, while other people have been laid off, or other sectors, like the tech industry, they are hiring, so we want to be talking about that next Sunday, both here and on the continent. If you're on the continent and you know of any company that's hiring, please, come on and share so that we can help some people get jobs. This ongoing pandemic has really crippled a lot of people, a lot of companies, a lot of businesses have folded, but other businesses have sprung up and they are doing very well. So we invite you to join us next week. Over to you, Nia Song. And if I have any more challenges, I hope I don't. But Nia Song, over to you.
Thank you very much. Yes, we're just going back talking about our topic of the day, punctuality. There's Virginia Woolf who tells us about the plants and the animals who respond to things on time. But she concludes her piece by saying that amazingly, punctuality has no such simple effect upon the mind of man. Well, man as human being, not just one gender or versus the other. But what should we all do to be able to react like plants to time, to respond to time? What is the main lesson that we should learn from plants and animals? Brother Donald?
Yeah. Watching the seasons, because animals and plants go according to seasons. And God has programmed them to respond with instincts to do certain things. And we can mimic that by as Dr. Ruth said, being organized and developing a system to do things, to have things in place. So that's what I think we can learn from the plants and the animals.
Okay, Nia,
Thank
so
you.
real
Yes.
quick,
Yeah,
Ambassador Lisa has a message here, which is an important message. Operation Borehole 55, donate any amount to www.africaonlinetv.org. And if you have an idea for a show that you want us to do, inbox us at info@africaonlinetv.org. It's africaonlinetv.org. The TV is missing. Our ambassador, our administrator on the continent, I spoke with her yesterday. She was going to try to be on this show, but she's tired. It's late over there where she is. She's going to be meeting with the engineer who sunk the borehole. The Ministry of Health in Sierra Leone have guidelines of boreholes. So when the towers are being built, they are supposed to cure for 28 days before they complete the project. So that's what they are waiting for. We are doing things the right way. The borehole has been sunk. You all saw the videos and the pictures. There's a lock on the borehole to keep it secured. I think in a week or two, they will complete the tower and put the tank and the solar panels. So the tower is going to hold both the tank, the water tank, and the solar panels. And once that is done, the borehole should be ready. Again, these guys have done an amazing job. The young man, I don't remember his name, gave us a 50% discount. He's basically not charging for his own fees because he watched our event. And once that borehole is operational, we're going to do another fundraiser for the borehole in Kenya. So we are still collecting, accepting videos. If you don't send us a video, don't run your mouth or criticize us for not helping your village or your rural community. Send us a video of a rural clinic that doesn't have water. Send us those videos and make sure on those videos you say the videos are for Operation Borehole 55, Africa Online Media Corporation. Don't send us a stock video. We don't want stock videos. Send the video, go to the facility, interview the nurse, the administrator, show us what they are doing with water right now, where they are getting the water from. And we're going to use those videos to raise funds for the rural clinic. But the water will not just be for the rural clinic. The community will have access to it, just like in this Kabaferi district in Sierra Leone. That water is going to take care of 6,000 households. Can you imagine the number of people that are going to benefit from that one borehole, in addition to that clinic? That clinic averages 10 deliveries per night, and they don't have water. So you imagine. So again, I want to thank Sister Ruth and Sister Deborah for honoring their donations. And I want to thank Brother Rona, who also made a pledge to donate in April. To donate, go to our website, www.africaonlinetv.org. 100% of your donation is going to the borehole. There is a specific account for that borehole. Nothing is coming out of it. The only deduction you will see, there's a transaction fee, that's Square charges. That's all. Niason.
Thank you very much. And we'll continue the conversation this time around. Let us begin to tell more about what our experience with punctuality has been like. Have you ever gone late for an event and be turned away? Sister Deborah, maybe we start with you. Did you ever go late for an event and they turned you away because you were late?
No.
Good.
Because she doesn't go late. She doesn't go late to events.
I'm really never late.
Okay.
Only if I'm stuck in traffic because of something that happened or accident. I always call to say, listen, I'm sorry, I'm going to be late. This is why. But I usually leave early enough that if something happens, I still have time to be on time.
Exactly. I think
Sister
we just
Ruth?
lost Sister Ruth. We just lost her.
We lost her. Oh, yeah, that's right.
I think somebody's trying to attack this show. What do you think? We've never had this much connectivity problems on the show. But go ahead.
Well, Brother Donald, have you ever gone late for an event and be turned back and be turned away rather?
Fortunately, that has never happened to me. I'm just like Sister Deborah. Usually I'm on time or early, and I never experienced that. No. I wish I could go on more, but I have never experienced it.
Good.
Yeah. Now, personally, too, I've never been turned back because I was late for an event. I try always to be on time, and that has been part of me. So I don't go late, and I don't get turned back for anything. Reverend Palm, I know you host more events than you think, but on the other flip side of it, did somebody tell you at the door, "Oh, but Reverend, you are late. You cannot come in"?
That has never happened in my life because I don't go late for events, but I don't turn people away for coming late from my events either.
Okay.
When they come late, as a matter of fact, usually we'll have, it depends on whether the event is strictly on RSVP or open.
Okay.
If it's strictly on RSVP, there is a overflow area, for that. But I don't turn people. I usually have people ushers at the door. I tell them don't turn anybody away. That's something I don't do. Even when it's a charity event or medical missions, I don't turn people away. I don't. No.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I think at this time we're going to take a round of the table for us to say our last words. Take as long as you can when it's your turn. So we're going to start with Sister Deborah. Your last word, what do you have as last word on punctuality, being early for events and so on?
Yeah, so real quick, Sister Deborah, just pardon me. Ambassador Lisa, you can type your last words and I'll be your voice. I'll read it to our audience, Ambassador Lisa. Go ahead, Sister Deborah.
Thank you. As I said before, I believe that being punctual is a part of having integrity within yourself and taking into account of where you're going and what you're going to do and what the reason for your being there is. Because sometimes our presence is more important than we really think. And we have people who are watching us, people you don't know that are watching you. The Bible tells us that we're epistles being read daily. So if we want people to be punctual, then we have to be punctual ourselves and lead by example. Also, when it comes to children, I learned with mine that when you give them a set bedtime, not only does it give them enough rest, but it gives you a chance to pull yourself together and have a little peace of mind before you go off to sleep yourself. And it helps them to get up earlier in the morning. So it teaches them punctuality as well. Punctuality is really very important. And a lot of people don't realize, especially in today's world, the young people don't care about time because they got all the time in the world. At least that's what they think. They don't know that time is winding down and they need to take time to do what they need to do and be punctual in that process.
Thank you so much, Brother Donald. Your last word.
His name is Ronald. Stop trying to change his name, Nia, so you could be stood for that.
I'm sorry.
No problem, no problem. Yes. I remember the scripture in the Bible where it says, God is not a God of disorder, and that we should do things in decency and in order. And I follow that guideline. So being punctual is very important, simply because when you're on time, you get a lot of things done, you can pace yourself, and be mindful of what you're doing and how others are reacting to you. Just like the young lady said, people are watching us. They're seeing how we conduct ourselves and how we use our time. And they tend to mimic it as far as how they're going to treat you. But one thing I will say is that I usually and always be on time for social events. But for some reason, I tend to pick friends that like to come late. But I would let them know. I would say, look, we got to be on time because it's important. Tomorrow's not promised to us, and we don't have all the time in the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Reverend Pam, I know you have two voices, one for Ambassador Lisa and one for yourself.
Be careful. If you say I have two voices, some people may misinterpret that.
Oh, sorry about that. This word today.
I know you broke it down so good. Yeah. Okay. Ambassador Lisa says it is important that we try to encourage our young parents to help them with disciplines of establishing deadlines, bedtimes, so our children can get up on time. You know, but the thing is, if you are a parent and you cannot, establish those deadlines, the children are the one raising you, not you raising them. Proverbs 22:6 says, raise up a child the way they should go. When they grow up, they will not depart from it. Some of the adults that are perpetually late for events, they were raised that way. Their parents let them do whatever they wanted to do. Some of them is not their parents' fault, but I'm just saying what Ambassador Lisa is saying is very important, that we need to we need to encourage the young parents, about having rules in the house. Then Sister Deborah said that, wait, that's right, Deborah. My mother taught me to put my children to bed at a certain time so that I would have time to myself. My boys were in high school and still going to their bedroom by 9 p.m. and getting up on time. Okay, that was Ambassador Lisa continuing. So that is so important, Nia song. It looks like, I don't know if I should try to play the anthem again. We have some time. Should I try? One more time, Nia song, we still have some time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I know Ambassador Lisa is really missing the anthem. Hold on. Let me look for the anthem. Hopefully, this time it will play without problems. If it plays with problems, we'll just go ahead and just call it the day, I apologize. I don't know what happened. That was so ridiculous, Let's try to play the anthem again. I had turned it down. I had exited the YouTube, something. No, Nia song, let me not try. It's still buffering. Let me not, let's Sleeping Dogs. Let's Sleeping Dogs lies, Okay, on this punctuality thing, it should just be a lifestyle. It should be a lifestyle. And even if you have been one of those perpetual latecomers, you can start from today. Like I said, your phone should have a calendar app. Set an alarm on your phone. I don't know how many people are still using the regular alarm clock. If you don't, you don't know how to do it on your phone, go on the internet and search. It will show you how to do it. Or if you have an old alarm, set your alarm. Set your alarm. Give yourself at least 2 alerts so that you can get ready. There are people that put. I don't put out my clothes ahead of time. When I like on this show, when I get up in the morning, I take a shower, I go into my closet, I grab something and I wear. I usually on Sundays, it's whatever I attended service with, I stay with it until the show is over. But if you are one of those people that set things ahead of time, good for you. If it's if you want to catch a ride with somebody, make sure that person is not somebody that's going to make you go late, because you cannot blame it on that person. I just gave you an example in my own situation where I was staying with one of my aunts, and she made me go late for an important funeral, and I was not happy about it. So I think it is healthier and it will do you a lot of good if you start going to work early, you start going to church early, you start attending events on time. I think it will do you a lot of good. And for our people that do events, I think it will save you a lot of money if you start your events on time, because you may not know this, but you end up spending more money than you would have spent when you start your events late because you are trying to accommodate latecomers. You are the host, you call the shots, you decide how you want your event to go, not your guests. You decide. If they don't want to come to your event, fine, let them not come. But you decide to start your event on time. I'll give you an example. There are people that end up paying extra money for a venue to accommodate latecomers. There are some venues that after midnight, they charge you $100 an hour. And because a lot of African events start around 11 p.m. or 12, these people, they pay the regular fee for the venue, and then they end up paying like $500 extra because they want to stay late. I have a vendor who was paid a hefty amount of money to go out of town to perform and ended up not doing anything because the event started so late, they didn't have time for this person to perform, but the person still got paid. So it is cheaper for you, if you start your events on time. When you look at the whole cost, look at the whole cost of everything of starting your events late. Niason.
Thank you very much. And before I go, I just want to remind all of us, please, if you happen to have a topic or an idea about a topic that we can discuss on this program, as Reverend Pam said earlier, please inbox us and we will be able to include it in the lineup that we're trying to make up. So please, so we don't run short of topics, we don't run out of topics. So whatever topic, whether it affects people in North America or on the African continent, it doesn't matter as long as we are informing people, as long as we are raising awareness about issues that can help people make life better. Already we know that.
Real quick, sorry, I don't know if this was on your radar, but we lost Sidney Porter.
Yes.
You want to say something about that?
I was going to conclude with that, to just say that we lost an icon, Sidney Porter, born in Florida, not because he had to be born in Florida, but because the parents came to sell their produce and the time for coming came. He came earlier than he was supposed to, 2 months earlier. So he was born in in Florida, but he went back to the Bahamas, where his parents came from, and he grew up till 15. He came back to the United States. He lived in New York. He worked part-time in New York. He joined the army briefly, and then of course he practiced how to be an actor, and he went to Hollywood and became the first African or the first black-skinned person to win those one of those awards that he talked about. An Oscar, yeah, that's right, an Oscar. So he died 2 days ago at the age of 94, I think, if I'm not mixing up. Yes. So he died, and tributes have been pouring in. One of them most pathetic, or rather most touching, came from Barack Obama, who happened to have given him a Medal of Honor in the White House. And one came from Oprah Winfrey, who said, "The biggest of the trees has fallen from the forest." So I remember Oprah's words because I'm like her, I like poetry. So the biggest of the trees has fallen from the forest. So that being said, please, it has been a great pleasure, Reverend Pam, if I can conclude.
Just to say, yes, I just want to thank you for, I had no idea he was born in Florida. You may say he came in early, but I think he was punctual. He didn't want to be late.
Yeah, that's right.
He ended up being born on US soil. I didn't know that. I knew he came from the Bahamas. I didn't know he was an American citizen by birth. So that's good to know. And Ambassador Lisa, let me read this real quick, before you conclude.
Yes.
She said, even my YouTube is buffering. It's the network. Okay, so the problem is YouTube, is not us. Thank you, Ambassador Lisa. Then it says, one of Sydney's first cousin lives around the corner from me and was a best friend of my mother. He wanted to be born in the US. Yes, that's why he came. Okay, so extend our condolence to his cousin, Ambassador Lisa. Thank you so much. And I look forward to next week to hear your voice and all the guests that you're going to bring. Niason, back to you.
Thank you all so much for everything, for being here today, as always. And please, whatever it is, let us continue to wish each other Happy New Year 2022 and continue to raise our hands and raise our hallelujahs so that he hears us and gives us that opportunity to go through 2022 without the pandemic. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you again next Sunday. Bye for now.
Have a blessed week and stay away from the coronavirus, any strain, whether it's Omicrazy or Omicron, stay away from them. See you next
I tried.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Get well, Ambassador Lisa.